So back in the day when you, John, Richard, all of you were really studying, did you at that point in time think that there would be a practitioner's course that will be made out of your study, research, and
No, I honestly have to say that from my perspective, and I can only give you my perspective, the fact that there's a practitioner, a master practitioner, a trainer training, and then later becoming a master trainer was driven from the outside.
Mhm.
I,
Tell
and I
me,
and I'll tell you. So, we're just doing what we were doing. It started out with two or three people in the living room,
yeah,
and people coming with things that they wanted to change in their lives or discuss in their lives or have coaches about. And more people started coming, and then more and more people started coming, and then we were traveling, to Chicago and all over the United States and stuff. And then finally, people started to say, "How do we get certified in this?"
mm-hmm.
It came from the outside. It didn't, from my perspective, it didn't come from the inside. It wasn't like John and Richard were going, "Let's create a certification." People came to them and go, how do we get certified? So came up with this kind of idea of here's the basic principles, the basic presuppositions, and the basic tools, or sorry, not tools, but basic skills. The meta model, perceptual positions, da 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 da. Well, not then
Mm-hmm.
yet, but the meta model and the
Yeah,
interactive skills and the relational skills that we had at the time and such, and the technology. And we packaged that, or they packaged that. I would say John and Richard Moore packaged that, and that became practitioner. And that's that first generation basic skills, which again are the basic building blocks for everything else that we do, and
yeah,
very
true
important.
that.
Once we finished that, people came and said, "Okay, now we got that. What do we do next?"
The master
And then
practitioner.
it came, then it came the master practitioner.
So this
And
was somewhere around in 1970 when the
this was in
first.
the mid-70s. I mean, like I was showing people, here's the practitioner
See, you should see this
certificate from
certificate. This is
1977.
that is Judy's certificate,
Yeah,
and I
well,
have.
no, it's Karen Holden's. I don't have a certificate because I helped make it up. So
Oh boy,
I
and
know.
yeah, and tell me something about the very first batch that you taught in the 70s. I think all of you, Leslie, and all of you. Tell me something about anything that you remember. Do you remember? It's been so
Uh,
old.
what I mostly remember was the environment, because I believe it was at Greenwood Lodge, which is this funny little, crazy little old school place up in the mountains of Santa Cruz. And I remember some of the people. So two of those people were Connie Ray and Steve Andreas.
Yeah,
They
they
were in the very
sponsored.
first,
Yeah,
I think, practitioner class ever done in NLP, certified practitioner. And also a woman named Ann Entis, who was a doctorate in
and
psychology, who taught at
and
McGill.
Linden.
Ann Entis. And yeah, she was a doctorate in psychology at McGill University in Canada. And those two people, both of those people and others as well, went on to build NLP institutes of good high quality reputation. And yeah, so
Yeah.
that's what I remember. And I just ran into a friend who did the master practitioner with Robert this summer at NLPU online, who was at one of the earliest.
Whoa.
I don't think it was the first one, but one of the earliest. And we've been
Mm-hmm.
talking on the internet, and she's just said how to describe. She said it's so hard to describe the spirit of exploration and curiosity. And I
Yeah.
go, yeah, it was a lot of being explorers, and it was a lot of curiosity of holding that NLP question. So, oh, how do you do that? How do you know that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And really
Yeah.
being curious about that.